Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelists, episode 505. My name is Kyle,
My name is James.
And my name is Zach.
and we're here to talk about movies, movie lists, and movie obsession for the next hour or so. Welcome, guys.
Thank you, Kyle.
Welcome to you.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Good to be seeing you again.
Good to be seeing you again as well.
James, is your
Awkward
beard
intro.
shorter again?
No, it's not any shorter. I haven't trimmed it in a while. Thank you.
So it's longer.
Okay.
Zach and I spent the day together yesterday. It was weird.
It was weird for you?
It was weird. We haven't spent that much time together in how long, Zach?
I probably since I moved into my house.
Probably. Yeah. Probably when we were like putting your floors in. That was probably the last time we spent 5-6 hours together like that.
But from my perspective, despite the time, it was decidedly unweird. But I guess you saw it differently.
I mean, it was weird in that it doesn't happen very often lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kyle, you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you what we did.
There's been no pregnant pause for me to ask yet. I just feel like I'm listening to a conversation on the outside, waiting to be like, hey.
Well, here's your chance. So we went to.
Oh, that was the pregnant pause. Hey, guys.
It was pretty pregnant.
What? Like that was like 8 months pregnant right there. What did you guys do without me yesterday?
We went to a flea market.
Lived in Florida. We went to a flea market.
A flea
Yeah.
market. Okay.
We went
Yeah.
to a flea market. Zach, myself, and his 2 kids hung out at a flea market for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Looking for
3-year-old and
Blu-rays.
1-year-old.
Okay.
We found a couple, nothing crazy. But Zach got the score of the day. Do you remember Playmobil? Is it
Oh,
okay if we talk about this, Zach?
Yeah,
We
totally.
don't
Yeah.
have to reveal like what you paid or anything, but,
Okay.
unless you don't care. But you remember Playmobil?
I loved Playmobil as a kid. I
You
want to
had it?
say, oh yeah, I had more Playmobil than Zach probably. I think Zach came to my house to play Playmobil.
Oh man, you guys were richy riches. Nobody
No,
I knew had
Kyle
Playmobil.
was. Kyle was because he had more.
we went.
I
to
left the projects and then I would go to his house.
the projects. How many bedrooms did your house have? But both legal and illegal. Let's be clear.
What?
We count them
Illegal
legal.
bedrooms?
Well, I mean, one of my brothers lived in a room that was designed to be like a saloon.
Yeah,
And so it doesn't have like a closet or anything.
or a window or a second exit from the basement. It was in the basement.
Yeah.
It had one
yeah.
exit.
It just
yeah,
had a huge bar table and a hot tub room.
It did
and a
have the
bed.
hot tub room on the end. Yeah, but again,
Yeah.
the hot tub room was not an escape route. You would just be trapped in hotter.
That-
Yeah.
You lived in
Yes.
the ghetto and you had a room for a hot tub. You had a whole room dedicated to a hot tub.
Zach was not in the ghetto whatsoever.
Hold on. This is Wisconsin. Everyone who's anyone has a hot tub.
You
Are
are
you serious?
Zach. You're the only person I know who had a hot tub room in their house. Like not just a hot tub room.
I'm the only person I know who had a hot tub room in their house.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys were living hard out there in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
For sure.
So when Zach needed a break from his hot tub, he would come play with my Playmobil toys.
Gotcha. And you had a ton of them.
I mean, a fair amount, yeah.
All right. Well, they were always so much more expensive than like Legos. So I was stuck with Legos.
Well, I mean, we had a shore status.
Anyway,
You,
Zach,
I believe
Zach
you would
bought,
like hang Playmobil from your front door, wouldn't you?
I really wanted people to know that we had Playmobil inside the house and they couldn't play with it.
Zach bought like 4 tubs of Playmobil stuff.
Nice.
It's like a lifetime supply of Playmobil stuff.
Yeah, it was so much.
Anything
It was
good
like
in there?
2 castles,
Yeah, 2
a pirate
castles.
ship. Yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
Western.
Sheriff's office. Yeah. Sheriff and
the
bank.
sheriff's office and
s-
the bank. Did you get?
A stagecoach.
Yep, I
Stagecoach.
had the stagecoach. Did you get the general store?
No.
Don't remember.
Oh, the general
No.
store was so cool.
I threw it in the trash. They sold it to me, but I was like, this is junk. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you get like the corral for the horses and the livestock?
No.
No.
What did
wasn't
you
in
even
there.
get? I mean, you got a castle, a pirate ship.
2 castles.
Yeah. A ridiculous amount of Playmobil and lots of Playmobil animals, including like a bison and a whale. Anyways, my daughter just we have a Noah's Ark Playmobil and she loves it. And so for Christmas, I want her to just kind of open the door and see all these Playmobil set up.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's going to be great. But it was fun being out. That was also like the most people I feel like I've been around in quite a while. There were a lot of people there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you? Yeah.
Was it outdoor flea market?
A lot of people.
It was outdoor and indoor.
Mm.
And it's also fun to kind of be with the salt of the earth people. Lots of Trump flags.
Yeah, but those salt of the earth, they're not buying Playmobil.
Well, that's why Zach scooped it up.
Yeah. No one went for it. How did my kids do, James?
They were great. I mean, they were kids, no kids flawless, but about as good as you would want a kid to be.
They did pretty good.
Having walked around and looked at stuff that most of which they didn't care about for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Did those leashes I sent you work?
No. didn't use them.
No response.
We didn't have to bring them out,
Never.
unfortunately.
Never.
Yeah. If there was ever a place to do it, though, that would be the place.
Yeah.
People, you would have been commended, I'm sure, in that place.
So, James,
You would
what
work on the
movies
leash.
did you buy?
Oh, that's a good question. Gee, I don't really even remember. I bought Muppets Take Manhattan, which is the only theatrically released Muppets movie I did not own. And I bought a double feature of Bruce Lee movies.
Which two?
Don't remember,
You should find out right now.
but it was wrapped and it's worth like $20. So I'm thinking I'm going to resell it and not watch them. And I got a triple feature with Superman, the original,
Mm-hmm.
Superman 2, and I really wish Superman 3, but instead they packaged the 2006 Superman reboot or whatever that one was called.
Superman Returns.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen that flow down the wild. That's a common one.
Yeah.
The
And-
two Bruce Lees he got were Game of Death and The Way of the Dragon.
That's right. That is
Okay.
true.
Oh, so Game of Death is the one that I did in my top 10 last 10, which is not worth watching. Way of the Dragon's good. I would say it's middle tier.
Yeah. Then I got a double feature of The Specialist and something else from the 90s that's pretty forgettable.
Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash. Yeah, which is a perfectly fine action movie from that time. And there was probably one more that I'm forgetting, but that's all right. What did you get, Zach? I don't remember.
I got Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Nice.
Right.
Tombstone.
Oh, good find.
Thank you. Pete's Dragon, the original.
Mhm.
The Thomas Crown Affair, the Pierce Brosnan version.
Mm-hmm.
Exodus, Gods and Kings.
The Ridley Scott.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Some Like It Hot.
Oh, DVD or Blu-ray, Criterion, regular release.
Blu-ray.
Nice.
Blu-ray.
Yeah. So it wasn't like the ginormous 50 title haul I was hoping for. I brought like $200. I was like ready to go. But there really wasn't many
Yeah.
Blu-rays there, I would say.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
A lot more DVDs, or just not a lot of movies in general.
Definitely more DVDs, but not DVDs like crazy, I would say. Just not much physical media in general.
I was at Target, and they had a ton of DVDs for sale,
Mhm.
and I'm just surprised that they're still making DVDs.
Oh, DVDs outsell Blu-rays.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Right. So, yeah, I think
But
the normies never upgraded, and so that's just how it goes.
they just have their DVDs and their Lego, and
I know. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, we got a lot to cover today. We're going to talk Red Notice, which is streaming on Netflix. We're also going to run down our top 10 movie trios. Before we jump into those, we got to do some real quick housekeeping. Don't forget, there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go to youtube.com, search Cinereelists, REEL with an S on the end, and you'll find our channel. Watch the podcast while you listen to it. You could also support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Cinereelists. Support the podcast, get extra after show audio. You could leave us an Apple Podcast review, 5 stars only, or you could send us an email to heyguys@cinereelists.com. We got an email this week. This one is coming to us from Megan, the certified baker. She writes, "Hey guys, I found the tangent about the cranberry orange bread in episode 504 very entertaining. Let's see if I can provide some clarity."
should we also clarify that this is my wife who's writing?
Yes, I was about to go into that. We should probably specify Megan is Kyle's wife.
Yes.
And she's been on the podcast. And when I referenced her as a certified baker, that's true, right?
She just earned her certified baker status from the Retail Bakers Association.
Okay.
Yeah. So she had to go through a written as well as a practical exam to prove her skills, and she is now a certified baker.
What's a practical exam? Like they take you into a kitchen and say, cook this, bake this, or
Yeah. So she knew what she had to bake, but she
Mhm.
drove down to Chicago and spent the day baking various things. I think she had like 8 hours to bake so many things. And it was like a lot of it was multitasking too. Like while this is baking or setting, then go work on this. And then while that's resting, go decorate that. So she had to produce a large amount of product in a small amount of time.
was one
Do
of
you know
these-
Kyle? Kyle, do you know if at that point in her skill set was that a stressful test, or is it like if you're good at this and worthy of passing, it's like it's easy at that point?
I would say there was elements of it that she needed to prepare for. Even though she's a baker in her current role, she does a lot more managing of people, so she doesn't get a chance to do as much of like that honing of skill as I know she used to. So there's definitely some having to brush up on some things. Again, it was all provided to her, so she knew what she'd be baking, and also like a couple techniques she had to learn to complete this exam. And she did a practice day also, where she went into work one day and basically ran through the exam, and then had a coworker grade her and like be pretty harsh and say, "Here's what you did well, and here's what you need to work on." So, it wasn't like she didn't wing it. She definitely prepared for this.
Sure.
All right. We're going to go through this email. It definitely gets a little weedsy here and there, but I'll stop in between each paragraph and you guys can reply. All right. Or don't. Whatever. Megan writes, "I can see why you were confused about what Kyle was referring to as bread. We should say in the last episode, Zach and Kyle argued over whether cranberry orange bread was bread or a loaf.
Like a cakey kind of loaf thing.
Couldn't tell you what the difference between those two are either. But
well, thankfully Megan can.
Sure. I can see why you're
James,
confused.
think of the difference between a roll and a muffin, right?
Or like banana bread
that difference, right?
and table
Gotcha.
bread.
They're both variations on bread. Gotcha. Even in the notes of this recipe, the author states, in America, we have things called bread or quick bread that are definitely actually cake, but called bread because they're in loaf pans and sliced like sandwich bread. They do tend to be a bit more muffiny, less sweet, denser crumb, and with much more fruit or vegetables than a birthday cake would have." Unquote. So, to clear things up, Zach, was more correct. I made a quick bread. I hate when those things are combined into a compound word, which is much more cake-like than sandwich bread-like. We mostly eat it for breakfast or snacks, not stacked with turkey and cheese for lunch. Pumpkin, banana, zucchini, carrot, all examples of quick breads. This type of batter can also be made into muffins without any change to the recipe. They're just a different shape and may bake faster than a larger loaf. Kyle? Zach's winning so far.
You know, I'm going to go make myself a sandwich after this with that bread, including turkey, cheese, and mayo, just to say, I don't see the difference.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Kyle and Zach debated if this was yeasted bread or not. Quick bread is not leavened with yeast. It uses chemical leaveners, baking soda and baking powder, to give rise to the cake. This chemical reaction is much faster than using yeast and does not require kneading or rising. They rise as they are baked. More on that in 1 minute. The texture of yeast-raised breads versus chemically leavened breads is vastly different, light and airy versus more dense and cakey. Kyle was correct. I did use 4 oranges, but not the whole orange, nor was it chopped up. You guys were all over the place. You were correct and also wrong at the same time.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was correct that she used 4 oranges. Incorrect, because he said there were pieces of oranges in there. I said she uses the zest of the orange.
No, I also said she uses the juice, which, if James continues...
Sure.
Since it was a double batch, I used the zest and juice of all 4 oranges. The zest gets rubbed into the sugar, which absorbs all the tasty oils from the orange rind. The juice is measured out, and then sour cream is added to get to the correct liquid level. Since oranges vary in size and juiciness, you got to be prepared with extra sour cream. This acidic liquid activates the baking soda, one of 2 chemical leaveners in the recipe, to allow the bread to rise. The second leavener is baking powder, a combo of powdered alkali and powdered acid.
Alkali.
That is alkali, powdered acid that is usually double acting. So it reacts once when moistened and second when heated. All the carbon dioxide produced in these reactions create a light and fluffy baked good. So, in summary, we've got an orange cake bread base that you then add fresh halved cranberries and toasted chopped pecans into. There are a lot of cranberries in this loaf, a whole bag's worth that you'd see at the grocery store, halved and folded in. The author makes a note. I've made this with whole cranberries and roughly chopped cranberries and really like them halved the most in there. It takes a few minutes, but I think it's worth it. Honestly, it takes more than a few minutes and a pain in the rear end, but it's worth it in the end. So not a slurry of cranberries like you would do for banana bread or shredded cranberries like the carrot or zucchini bread, but halved fresh cranberries dried just wouldn't be good here. Find a different recipe if that is more your style. I hope that settles some, if not all, the confusion in your discussion last week.
Yeah, well, I loved the detail, Megan. I feel like that is roughly what I had in my head when Kyle said you were making this.
Yep. Megan also sent the recipe she was using for cranberry pecan bread, and we will put it in the show notes if any listeners out there want to give it a spin based on her recommendation. Yeah. Kyle, I think you owe us a verdict on whether it actually tasted good. You said you were going to tell us that this week.
Oh, it tasted very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah. Megan.
Wouldn't it be amazing if Kyle was like, it's all right.
You know, I really
she didn't get the right amount of sour cream.
Yeah, it was that alkali baking powder mixture was just a little off, and but certified baker. So what can I say?
Once I made homemade pancakes and I put baking soda instead of baking powder just by mistake, and the pancakes burned my mouth like in a weird chemical way for like 5 minutes. I was very, very uncomfortable. It's like, when you chew on aluminum foil, it was just like a unnatural mouthfeel.
Who's chewing on aluminum foil? What?
I mean, if you accidentally chew on aluminum foil.
Oh, okay.
How do you accidentally chew on aluminum foil?
If you're eating bread out of an aluminum foil pan.
What? Who does this?
Not me.
James, have you ever
I have
had
never
like a burrito wrapped in
accidentally
aluminum?
chewed aluminum foil or on
James,
purpose. Yes.
Could you imagine a burrito wrapped in aluminum foil and
could
you
imagine that, yeah.
accidentally bite a little bit too far?
No, I've been eating burritos my
couldn't
entire
happen?
life. Never happened.
But
But
could
could.
you imagine it happening?
I could imagine other people it happening to, but it
We
has
understand
not,
you're a very
will not
careful
happen to me.
biter.
will not happen to me. Guaranteed.
Okay. Well, you're just missing out on one of the human experiences of the utter uncomfortableness of chewing on aluminum foil.
I guess so. Well, thank you for the email, Megan. When we say we will read emails sent to us, we don't lie. We read them and discuss them. If you'd also like to send an email, heyguys@cinereelists.com, and we look forward to hearing from you. Let's jump in to our main event movie of the week. I mentioned before, this one is streaming on Netflix right now. The title of the movie is Red Notice. We're going to get into it right after this clip.
Which brings us to the part where you tell us where the third egg is.
Piss off for 1,000 years.
Ah, bummer. I really wanted to do it the easy way. That's okay. I'll get the information from you by hurting him.
I'm sorry, what? I love this plan.
That was Red Notice, a 2021 American action comedy directed by Rawson Marshall Thurber, starring Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, and other people, but mainly those three. The official IMDb plot synopsis is: an Interpol agent tracks the world's most wanted art thief. The end. Short but sweet.
That is a terrible summary.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens in the movie.
But that only tells you
No,
about two of the characters.
No,
Right.
well, yeah, but it centers a fourth minor character, not the three major characters.
No, I believe the Interpol agents I understand that there is an Interpol agent in the movie. I think the plot summary is referring to The Rock as Interpol agent.
Right.
So it's incorrect in that
But he's
sense.
not in it.
I know.
He's not an Interpol
he's not
agent. He's an
Interpol,
FBI agent.
No.
Yeah,
we
but
can
there is
agree-
an Interpol agent.
We can agree it's a bad summary. Even if it said an FBI agent, it still is missing a third character in the movie.
Sure. Okay, we should say Red Notice, crime, thriller, comedy. There are spoilers to be had here as far as like plot twists that are part of the fun of the movie. We will not be discussing those in this review. So if you haven't seen the movie, we're going to do our best not to spoil it, but to give you a feel for exactly how we experienced the movie and whether we enjoyed it or not. What did you guys think about Red Notice?
So I thought this movie came out already.
Well, it did. By the time you watched it, it did.
Like months ago. And maybe
Oh,
they just
okay.
did they just start advertising it a long time ago or announcing it? Because
No.
I
Look-
never heard of it until it was live on Netflix, so I don't know what you're talking about.
okay, I definitely had heard of this movie. And so I thought it had come and left, and then it came out. I'm like, oh, okay, here it is now. So there's a lot to nitpick about this movie.
Mhm.
And I'll definitely get into some of those, and I'm sure we can talk about some of those without getting into spoilers. But I'll say overall, I enjoyed this movie just as a fun, like 2-hour, turn off your brain kind of watch. Like I think it's a perfect movie that Netflix is trying to crank out, every 2 or 3 weeks. where there is, there's elements of a heist. There's some like old school adventure towards the end, which I kind of dug. Um, there's some action in there. It kind of hits all these quadrants. Doesn't really do anything super well, but doesn't do anything super poorly either. Um, it's just, I don't know, I guess sort of a fun, forgettable watch. It's not a movie I'm going to think about a lot. It's not a movie where I'm going to write a super long review for. But I had really no problem with it. I think the one thing that stood out to me though is you got these three big names, like who are some of the most recognizable names right now, right? Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson, and Gal Gadot, and they had no chemistry on screen whatsoever. I was like, there's this one scene where Gal Gadot is dancing with The Rock, and it's kind of like he's the cop trying to track her, and it's sort of their public meeting, but he can't, whatever. Um, and it's they're trying to play it as like this sensual tete-a-tete in something like I would imagine the Thomas Crown Affair maybe would happen, where you have like the the protagonist, the antagonist, they meet and they have to dance, and it's very like back and forth, but you're also like feeling the chemistry there. And I was feeling nothing from the Gal Gadot and The Rock as they're having this like back and forth dance samba session. So lots of movies have done it, and this movie did not pull it off. Ryan Reynolds, although he made me laugh at times, he felt like he was kind of phoning it in too. So that being said, I'm not mad I watched this movie.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I enjoyed my time with it, and I also think it was pretty stupid and formulaic. And I think the issue with all three of these people is that they are pretty sexless in my mind. Like The Rock, I can't imagine him ever being a believable leading man in like a romantic way
No,
in
not at
any
all.
sense of the word. This movie doesn't even try to really do that other than that one dance scene that you're talking about. But same thing with Ryan Reynolds. Like he's been in so many comedies now. He is Ryan Reynolds when he's on the screen. It doesn't really matter even what his character name is because he's just a different version of what you expect from Ryan Reynolds. And even Gal Gadot has kind of positioned herself as not like I don't know what who a surrogate would be from like the 90s. Like somebody who was constantly in these movies but was the love affair, or like Sharon Stone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's not Sharon Stone. She's more than that, and that's great. But when you put her in a role like this, she's Gal Gadot to me, not an object that the men are trying to get to, type of thing. And that movie doesn't even put her in that position either. You know what I mean? I'm not even looking for that. It's just all three of these people are far better being charming than they are having sexual chemistry or any chemistry, really. I don't know. I think The Rock can pretty much play against anybody to the level that he can. You know what I mean? Like he can never get to a level where you're like, this is amazing. But if he's opposite somebody, whether it's Central Intelligence or this movie or any other movie where he's opposite somebody, he's the same steady Eddie Dwayne Johnson. And it works in this movie. It works in most of his movies. And also, most of his movies are forgettable in the long run, but they're entertaining. And I think that's pretty much where Red Notice like slotted in perfect for me. Zach, how'd you feel about it?
Red Notice. Okay, so there's not too much to say about this movie. This movie is dumb. So I'll start there. It's dumb, but it's fine. I mean, it's easy to watch in like a non-offensive, dumb way. Like I guess I would describe it as it is just a completely disposable, forgettable, simplified version of this. You know, it's a comedy first, action second. It's like an action adventure comedy, but I would say it wants to be comedy first. It doesn't worry about the plot too much.
No.
So if they want to go somewhere or get to something, some plot point, they just go there. They don't need they'll just contrive it in 20 seconds so that it moves forward. It doesn't matter to them if it's clever or anything like that. It just moves on. It's a train that keeps on chugging towards the goal. And I think all three of those actors have a lot of charisma, but I totally agree with both of you that there's kind of like this just dead vacuum of chemistry between them. You know, just it's something like a, your rubber, I'm glue situation. I think Ryan Reynolds was definitely doing his shtick
Yeah.
in the film, and it just felt out of place next to The Rock. And I also think that Ryan Reynolds is funnier when he writes himself than when someone else writes for Ryan Reynolds. DJ was fine, but he's coming off of Jungle Book, and I was just like, oh, what are we in your jungle phase now? Is this your jungle period?
Sure.
I saw a meme of The Rock in like Jumanji, the other Jumanji, this one, and Jungle Cruise, and
Jungle Cruise.
he's
Jungle
wearing
Cruise,
he's
yeah.
wearing the same shirt in every single one.
Yeah. Gal Gadot is fine in this. She's the most one-dimensional character who like just pops in and out. It's odd how she just will show up and then leave, and just she intersects with the plot at various points, kind of a thing. And it calls out Indiana Jones, like specifically he starts humming the theme song to it. But there were sections of this movie that gave me very strong Kingdom of the Temple Skull or the Crystal Skull vibes.
That third act in the jungle,
with like the car chase. Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, that could have been scenes from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It just felt very, very similar and similarly poorly done. But it wasn't as offensive because it's not handling Indiana Jones.
No.
Like it's just like, oh, this is Red Notice. So I don't care. I'm not invested at all in the fact that this is really dumb.
Sure.
So I had a fun time watching it, but mostly because I didn't care about what I was watching. So that's how I felt about it.
I'd give Gal Gadot credit for trying something different. Like I've never seen her try and play a character who's bad or has like emotional range in that sense. I don't know if she pulled it off per se. Maybe not emotional range, but
yeah,
like,
I was gonna say I didn't see much emotional range.
No, I mean more like
that weeping scene was pretty amazing.
More like attitude and expressiveness is what I'm trying to say here.
See, I feel like she gives us a lot of that in Wonder Woman.
No, Wonder Woman's so flat. Like Wonder Woman's stoic to me. Like in my memory, she just sort of is here. Like at least Gal Gadot was trying to, like, I don't know, punch it up a little bit. Again, I don't think she's the greatest actor, so I don't know if she can pull it off, but
sure. Well, I mean, she's going against two guys who have made their careers on their personalities.
Yeah.
And so I think I don't know if this is what was going through her mind, but maybe she took it as a challenge to ham it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just
she was going bigger than I'm used to. Yes,
yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
I think she definitely raised the volume. I'll give you that. I mean, it worked for me as a movie on a service I'm already paying for. If I had gone to a movie theater and watched this, I'm not saying I would be upset or anything like that, but I hope it was a double feature. You know what I mean? And there was something better that I went for along with it or something like that. I don't know. It just it did what it was supposed to do, which is wasted my time for less than 2 hours and give me a couple light chuckles and light thrills here and there. And that's about it for the most part.
A lot of bloodless action.
For sure. Very light PG-13
Yeah.
action. Let's not talk plot specifics, but there's basically a couple twists in this movie. One that comes in the middle, one that comes at the end, like most movies. I did not see the last one coming. Did you guys see that last one coming?
Yes.
I did
Yes.
not see that last one coming.
Because there's one thing left untwisted, and they can just twist it for no reason. So why not?
Interesting.
I
I'm not saying I was mind blown or was like, I gotta see this again to see all the Sixth Sense clues along the way. I was like, oh, okay. But I just had no idea. The one in the middle, I was, figuring out as they were revealing it. But that last one, they got me. They got me.
I'm forgetting the middle twist. Is that the one in the underneath the arena?
I don't know what that means. It's been a week and
Okay.
a half for me. Zach, is it the one under the arena?
No.
It's not the one under the arena.
I think I know what the middle twist is. Again, this is a forgettable movie. I obviously remember the end twist, but anyway, I maybe I would have seen the end twist more if there was chemistry amongst these people. But when you get that end twist, you're like, okay, well, they told me that's what's happening, but I don't believe that's what's happening.
Very, very true. Absolutely.
I did find some of the directing interesting at times.
Okay.
Like what?
There's a chase at the beginning, like through an Italian cathedral or something, between The Rock and Ryan Reynolds, and it's sort of parkour style at times, where Ryan Reynolds' stunt double is jumping over stuff and sliding under stuff and yada yada, and the camera's like kind of following him around, like the camera's jumping over, sliding under.
I think it was a racing drone.
You think it was a drone that was following him?
Yeah, it felt very much like a racing drone to me.
It was cool though. Like it was cool to see. Like we've seen parkour action before, but to see like a kind of over the shoulder, almost video game style, like following someone as they do parkour was actually, I thought was pretty creative.
Yeah. And I enjoyed like the cave chase. That was cool. I was like, oh yeah, this is very digital, but
This whole movie was very digital.
yeah, but I had fun with it.
Should have called it Green Notice for all the screens.
Green screen.
Yeah, do you think
notice?
they filmed anything outside?
Outside? Sure, they filmed things outside. Come on.
Like you mean on location?
what? No, outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a roof not above them.
Yes.
What?
There's a scene with a waterfall and I don't think that was a soundstage.
Really?
Maybe it was. I don't know.
They found
I'm the guy who thought they didn't
film
have real sand in Dune.
Dude.
So don't listen to me.
I'm sure there was. I mean, it makes
Yes.
sense that there would be, but any scene I can think of, I'm picturing on a soundstage.
I'm sure there was like a scene outside a building or something like that that was on some sort of location, but
Sure.
right, everything else, like the bullfight, that was all soundstage. The jungle is
the
soundstage.
jungle,
Yeah.
soundstage.
The
That
bullfight I was kind of surprised was in there because that's a pretty big Hollywood no-no, bullfights at this point.
that bull was bad. Like it was
Yeah, it
so
was bad.
CG cartoony.
Sure. I mean, it was obviously not a real bull, and if it was, they'd be in real trouble.
No,
but
but
just the idea that they depicted a bullfight,
yeah,
I'm just surprised they did that.
it was like
And-
watching a bull from a Bugs Bunny cartoon, though. Like it was so expressive and cartoony.
Hmm.
So Zachary, you're pro bullfight, correct? That's your.
Zach,
I'm not pro bullfight, no. But did you know that on my list of 100 things to do before I die is to run with the bulls?
Isn't that
In
just
Pamplona?
as exploitative of the bulls as bullfighting?
yeah.
I think it is less because you don't kill the bulls at the end of it.
Yeah, but the bulls aren't.
the bulls get injured.
Yeah, and I'm sure the bulls aren't happy to be running through these narrow streets.
Oh, I agree. But when
good.
we're talking about just as exploitative, like there's a difference between forcing people to go on a race with you or like killing them.
Death race.
Anyways,
Okay,
maybe it won't exist by the time I get around to doing it.
I'm sure people who are against bullfighting are also pro running for the bulls.
I doubt that.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm trying to say.
But I'm against bullfighting. Although, to be honest, I don't understand the cultural context of it.
Mhm.
So perhaps it's a colonial mindset that makes me against it. When like, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know anything about it. I would say, from my perspective, it seems brutal.
They did film some of it in Italy. So I imagine if they went to Italy, it wasn't to be on a green screen the entire time.
Do you think the Louvre was on location?
Yeah, for sure.
There we
Yeah.
go. Okay.
That was in
Yep.
France, but yes.
No, I know where the Louvre is, but that got me thinking.
Yeah, a thing that I did like about it, I think Kyle mentioned this, is like the drone shot setups I thought were kind of interesting.
Mhm.
I mean, I wish it was in a cooler movie, but at least it's kind of like Game Night, how they did
Oh,
like
yeah.
the tilt shift photography to like transition things. I thought it was interesting to have the drone shots kind of like set the stage for certain like location setups and stuff like that.
Hold on. Remind me again, what was interesting about the drone shots?
Just the fact that somebody tried to integrate them into a movie, and the integration was fine for what they needed to do in this movie.
No, I'm just, what did the movie do? I mean, it showed like an establishing shot of like the country they were going to. What else did they do? Because every movie does that.
No, there was like a shot. It was like establishing shot, and the drone zoomed down to street level, and then they CG'd into
Okay.
like a car for a chase or something like that. There were some transitions with the drones.
Okay.
Yeah, like impossible helicopter shots, basically. Like a shot that you would read as helicopter shot, and then it comes way too close for it to be a real helicopter shot.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
basically.
But there wasn't like enough of it to be like, oh wow, this is innovative. It was more like, oh, when it happened, it was kind of cool. But like Game Night really established like this is our tone, and every time it happened, it looked really cool, and it was constant throughout the movie.
Sure.
Game Night was sweet for that reason.
All right. According to Wikipedia, 2 sequels are coming to this movie. Both shot back to back. Are we in for Red Notice 2/3?
Yeah, I'm going to watch both of them. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
You'll watch it?
I'm guessing Netflix decided that these were a success. Like enough people watched this movie to say, let's keep making them.
At the end of the day, an action adventure comedy are just a fun genre.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then you throw like 3 of like arguably some of the biggest names in action comedies. Maybe Gal Gadot, not action comedy, but action.
She's a big name though.
She's definitely a big name. And Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson headline their own movies, and they do fine. So some better than fine. So it's kind of a sure bet, even if not everything is.
Who's going to get added in the sequel? Who's the new star that shows up?
Sure. That's a good question.
Ooh.
I'm trying to think. Hopefully Florence Pugh.
No. They've already done this a bunch of times. Oh, who's always opposite The Rock and Jumanji and Central Intelligence?
The comedian?
Yeah. It's not I want to say Chris Rock. It's not Chris Rock, obviously. Kevin. Why can't I think of his name?
Kevin Rock.
No.
Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
I could totally see Kevin Hart being brought into this franchise.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty close to other Rock movies. I'm not saying they wouldn't do it, but
I mean, The Rock and Kevin Hart have gone to that well multiple times.
Sure. I think they should bring Will Ferrell in. Make Will Ferrell the 4th.
I could see it.
He's ready to do it, right?
I could see it. I'm thinking Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, what about Harrison Ford?
No, he's too old. He's too old. He's not doing anything.
He's not doing anything. He's making Indiana Jones movies. He's making them
Sure.
right now.
I'm sure he's very active in that movie.
No, did he get injured on set? Isn't that why it's been delayed?
I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so.
He probably had to walk down some stairs, and
Ouch, man, you guys are.
he probably had to
brutal.
fly a plane. He probably had to fly a plane for the movie.
You guys are such ages.
I'm not an ageist. I think Harrison Ford can still walk downstairs very capably.
Well, there's something he can't do capably because he got injured on set.
Yeah, but I mean, like, also young male actors in their 20s and 30s get injured on set too. So we don't know what
Name
Harrison
5.
Ford's doing or not. I mean, Tom Cruise gets injured on set. He's jumping between buildings. How many of you jumped between recently?
Does he get injured on set?
Yeah, he broke his ankle on making the last one. And then they left the
He did?
shot in the movie.
Yeah, didn't you watch any press for that movie?
Yeah,
They mentioned it over and over and over again.
Like
Tom Cruise jumped between 2 buildings, broke his ankle, and kept running.
Yeah. And it's in the movie.
And it's in the movie.
You could run on a broken ankle.
It
He
depends on
hobbles.
where you
You-
break.
You can watch it. Like, you see him, they do the side shot, like the wide shot, and you see his foot hit poorly. And then they have like the close up of him like hitting the building, and he grimaces, he gets up, and then he sort of, I want to say, quickly hobbles off screen. Like you could tell that one leg is extended and he's not putting weight on it, but it's fast enough where if you didn't know what happened, it just looks like he's kind of awkwardly running off screen.
I don't remember. Does
Okay.
it cut to a shot of him like in full run, or is that the end of the chase? I don't remember.
That's mid chase. So yeah, the next shot is him full run. But they filmed that and they're like, all right, well, we gotta stop for 6 months now.
I don't think Tom Cruise would pass up an opportunity to full run in a movie.
That's true.
He's got to get those arms going.
Without spoiling it, how'd you guys feel about the cameo in the movie?
The
It was-
cameo.
There's a musical
yeah, there-
cameo in the movie.
There's a musical cameo.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. Who cares? It stuck out like a sore thumb. It was supposed to be a one-note joke. I guess it achieved the purpose.
Sure.
It seemed like the kind of person you get for a not surprising surprise cameo.
Not surprising.
Because he's
surprise cameo.
he's cameoed in other things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of his thing now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
Cameoed
guess.
in that TV show. He cameoed in
What do you think he
another
gets
movie.
paid for that? What did
I bet
get
he
paid
just
for
does
this
it
appearance?
to do it.
No, he got paid because they played a song too.
He
That's true.
maybe that's part of the deal. Maybe he was like, I will do it for free, but if you want me to perform, you have to pay my, estate publishing
Why did
rights.
both you think he's gonna act for free?
Because
You just both
A,
assume he's gonna act for free.
I don't think because maybe he probably doesn't need the money.
He's not a
The-
serious actor.
Yeah. And like to him, it's probably more fun of like, hey, if I can be in this movie and I can make it easier for them saying, yeah, I'll show up. Like, do me for a day. I don't need any money. I just want to be in the movie. I don't know. Maybe he gets maybe because he speaks, he gets to like a cut of it in that sense. He's like, you don't need to pay me a salary. Don't pay me scale, but I want 4% of profits.
I also feel like that guy, just based on interviews I've seen with him, he likes to wink at life, I'll say. And so
Sure.
things like this are just like fun things that he can pop up on. And people are like, oh, it's that guy type of thing. I feel like he would do it for free if somebody from the cast asked him to do it, just because it would be a weird thing to do. That being said, I think they have to pay him at least like, SAG day, whatever.
I bet he got $60,000 plus licensing for the song. That's my guess.
$60,000 for
Why not?
20
He
minutes
has
of
lines.
work.
He's
Holy cow.
yeah.
That was a
that's
day.
pretty
He was
normal.
there for a day.
A day.
Oh yeah. He had to perform a song and had to
Multiple setups.
pull off a joke. Yeah.
Well, the joke was probably 80 yard in
Yeah, but I mean it wasn't just him performing.
to 2 days.
2 days. I mean, that's the deal. He's like, I need a week. You need to pay me. I need a trailer. Yeah.
All right.
I-
Anything else before we jump out of Red Notice?
This is Netflix's most expensive movie ever.
Really? Why?
Yeah, apparently, I don't know. Gal Gadot got paid $20 million.
there you go.
Okay.
I assume The Rock and Ryan Reynolds got something similar or higher.
Mm-hmm.
But
So-
my internet is too slow.
Just to the cast, we're talking probably 60 million plus.
Oh yeah, I would say north of 60 million.
What's the total? What are we looking at? Wikipedia
It's-
says
so it's-
200 million.
Okay.
You know,
It's so funny because that's not on the screen at all.
no, no, the CG is not good. Like
It is if they didn't film any physical locations.
Like,
they
you look at-
created every
I think
frame.
it's the cast is like half of it.
you look at Dune. Dune's $200 million. That looks amazing.
Sure.
And then you look at this, and you're like, where do they spend $200 million besides 100 on the three leads?
I mean, they had a lot of locations, and like the scene where the opening scene where Ryan Reynolds is like running through the museum. I mean, there was a lot of setups, a lot of action-y stuff through the
Yeah.
scaffolding, and I mean, there's a lot of action in the movie. I agree, 200 feels like a lot, but when you consider 60 of it went to the cast, and it's more like 140, still feels 40 million too high, but 100 makes sense to me.
There's speculation that DJ got 50 million for this movie.
50 million for so it is with his producing partner / director, like the same guy who
Right.
did Central Intelligence Agency and Skyscraper, and also produced Earthquake, I think, or whatever that Earthquake movie was with him.
San Andreas.
San Andreas. It's like the same dude. So maybe that's why, and he's a producer on it. Dwayne Johnson is. So
Yeah.
maybe it was like him and his producer's project, and then they sucked Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot into it.
I think we can comfortably say at least half of that 200 million went to those three actors. Like
Yeah,
if he's
probably.
pulling 50 and she's pulling 20, I bet you Ryan Reynolds is getting at least 30, if not more.
Ryan Reynolds got 20 as well.
That's a lot of money for a streaming movie. I mean, I hope
Yeah.
it for their sake. I'm very concerned. I hope they get
For
the money
Netflix's
in.
sake, you hope that.
I think it's why they promoted it so much. Like I've seen so many things from those three in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, they got 2 more. Imagine if they're getting that kind of money for each sequel or more. That
Yeah.
would be pretty awesome for them. All right, let's letterbox Red Notice. I gave it a 3. I think I might have gotten it 3.5, but somewhere between 3 and 3.5.
2.5.
Yeah, I'm kind of between. I'm gonna go 3 right now. It could be 2.5, but since I'm not mad at it, I'll go 3.
All right, a solid 2.5, a wishy-washy 2.5 to 3, and a wishy-washy 3 to 3.5 for Red Notice. Let's jump into our list for this week. It's our top 10 movie trios. What does that mean, Kyle?
So we are looking at. That's a good question. What does that mean? We are looking at movie trios. Our top 10 favorite ones.
I said that already.
Yeah,
Could
you did. You did. You caught me off guard here. So, like, it could be either a trio that works together, a trio of antagonists, or just a movie where 3 people really anchor it together. So it's any sort of combination of 3 people in a movie that we think are the best.
Mhm.
Tritagonists, as Zach likes to say.
Yeah, but I think technically tritagonist means the third build person. in the
Correct,
film.
not
it
the
doesn't
actual.
refer to like those. Yeah,
No,
so
no.
I can't.
And I will say that not all of my movie trios are considered protagonists in this story per se.
Oh,
Some are, but
Mm.
sometimes they're like ancillary characters, but still a powerful trio.
okay.
I would say that the only prerequisite on my list, now that I look at it, is that all these people are on the same team. You know what I mean? Like they're on the same side of the movie.
That is not the case for me.
Okay.
Well, it's not even the case for Red Notice.
That's true. I mean, they're
Oh, good point.
kind of all trying to accomplish the same thing. They're just competing to get it done. I don't know.
Right.
It's a good thing Red Notice isn't on my list then, because then I'd be a lot.
Oh, it didn't make the list.
Did not make the
What?
list. Did not make the list. All right. I will go first. My number 10 is Cruel Intentions from 1998.
That was I consider that one. I'm really glad you put that on your list.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Felipe, Reese Witherspoon. I mean, though, it's a what would you call that? An erotic teen thriller? Are they
Yeah.
teens? They're like
The-
college age.
The actors are college age. The characters are high school age.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's a pulpy, sexy movie. I love it. Cruel Intentions.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's not erotic like the early 90s Sharon Stone movies.
It's like a really bad impression of those movies.
Yeah, but it's
like
definitely
a cheesy, goofy.
it's definitely
version of
sexier
that.
than like a teen sex comedy per se. It's somewhere in the middle there.
I think part of why I like Cruel Intentions is because it's trying so hard to be those types of movies, and it kind of fails at times. And like 1998 James didn't think it was a failure, but today James, who watches Cruel Intentions, is like, this is pretty funny.
Oh, it's a fun movie to watch. It is definitely if we were talking about guilty pleasures,
yeah,
Cruel Intentions is definitely up there.
for sure. And I think part of
I
it
don't think I've
is
seen it.
those three people at that time of their acting careers were like perfect on screen together. You've never seen Cruel Intentions? It's great.
I don't think
It's
I have.
not great. It's a lot of fun.
It's great.
If
It's amazing.
if we were doing the star power list, Zach, Cruel Intentions could easily be on the same list.
What's a star power? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You suggested that. I still want to do that at some point. I don't think I
Definitely.
verbalize that, but
All right. Well, my number 10 is a 2001 movie directed by Alfonso Cuarón. This is Y Tu Mama Tambien. This is about two teenage friends played by Gael Garcia Bernal and Diego Luna. And I did not realize Diego Luna was in this movie when I saw it. And they're on a road trip and they meet up with a slightly older woman played by Maribel Verdú. And they go through a tale of lust and jealousy and friendship and all of the above as these three people travel the Mexican countryside together.
it's
Yeah.
a good one. I'm bummed I did not think of that because that is a good one. May have made my list had I thought of it.
Ooh, nice. My number 10, when we're talking about trios, it's got to be the Three Musketeers from 1993. Of course, I know it's all on your list. It's Athos, Porthos, and Aramis, the Three Musketeers. Yeah, what more can I say?
Do you know what
Did you
always
ever
bothered-
Stars Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, and Chris O'Donnell as D'Artagnan, I think.
Yeah, well, okay, so that's the thing is you name the Three Musketeers, but
Yeah.
Oliver Platt plays the third Musketeer. It
Yeah.
always bothered me that the story, and this is not the movie. This goes back to Alexander Dumas, my guy over there. He calls a book The Three Musketeers, and it's about four Musketeers
No, it's
Well-
about the Three Musketeers and D'Artagnan.
plus D'Artagnan. I know it
Yeah.
always kind of threw me off
Yeah.
because D'Artagnan is a very big part of that story, and obviously the Three Musketeers are important to it too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish it was called something different.
Would you rather it was called the Four Musketeers?
No, I don't know, like a Musketeer in Training or something like that. But a
That
better
would have been
title
a
than that.
much better
A
title.
better title.
Yeah.
But something along those lines. I don't know. It's a pet
Yeah.
peeve. It's stupid.
Unfortunately, Three Musketeers knocked off Three Ninjas from my list. So that will not be showing up.
I did not consider Three Ninjas, but I wish I did. With Colt and Tum Tum and
Yep.
who's the older? I can't remember the eldest one. What was he called? Rocky.
Yeah.
Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum. Bam.
All right. We ready for my number 9?
I'm ready.
Very.
It's George Clooney. You know what we should do? Actor names and then people guess the movie.
I like it.
George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, Ice Cube.
Three Kings.
Three Kings.
Three Kings from 1999. Love that movie. I think the chemistry from all those three guys, like they're not like buddies, but they know each other. They're like associated with each other. They're over in Iraq, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
they're in
first
Iraq,
Gulf War.
the first Gulf War, and they're cohorts by convenience because they're going to rob the spoils of Saddam Hussein on the way out of Iraq. And it's a drama with some comedy in it, but it gets deadly serious at times. And I really enjoy that movie. And that's why it's my number 9. I enjoy them as a trio.
Same nitpick. It's called Three Kings. Spike Jonze is along for the ride with them. There's 4 of them.
He's not a main guy though.
But he's part of the plot. He's like
Yeah,
the movie doesn't seem
Jamie
like a main
Kennedy's
guy.
in that movie too. It's not a 5-some. He just
But-
happens to be in the movie.
No, but is Jamie Kennedy along for the ride the entire time? Because Spike Jonze is on that mission with them the entire time.
Right, but
There's-
he
there's-
does not get anywhere near the screen time as the other 3 guys.
No, but I'm saying there's 4 of them who are pulling off this mission.
Oh my gosh.
But 4 kings is not biblical. It doesn't sound cool, so they call it 3 kings, and poor old Spike Jonze gets left
Wait.
off.
You think
Is
that's
Three
why they called it
Kings biblical?
3 Kings?
Well, I think it's recognizable. Yeah, the 3 kings. Who isn't there a song "We Three Kings"?
Yeah, but that's just a song. That's not for the. I mean,
You think
I don't
Spike
understand
Jones
biblical.
Wait,
has a
no, hold on.
comparable role to the
We're gonna-
other 3 guys, and because they can't call it 4 Kings, they called it 3 Kings. That's seriously what you're saying right
Yes,
now.
I would say if this was a true story, right? If this was a true story, it would be about 4 guys who pulled off this mission. And then for the movie version, they're like, 4 kings sounds stupid, but 3 kings is like that song that people know that they sing
No.
around Christmas. So we're gonna write one guy a
4
little
Kings
less.
is like a deck of playing cards. 4 Kings is like a deck of playing cards. 3 Kings, the only thing it has is a Christmas song.
Yeah. How do I know more about this than you, Zach?
No, but what does a Christmas song have to do with the movie?
Because people
It's like
people know the song "We Three Kings." It's a well-known phrase.
yeah, but 4 Kings is well known from like poker.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's clunky sounding. 4 kings.
Plus, nobody
Are
sings
you
songs
forking?
about poker cards.
That's true,
Kenny
they don't.
Rogers. There's
What about
definitely
Kenny Rogers?
the gambler. Gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
This is Hollywood,
Yeah.
and this is reality, right?
All right. I'm gonna get off this high horse. Here's my trio. Tom Hanks, Bill Paxton, Kevin Bacon.
Tom Hanks, Bill Paxton, Kevin Bacon. I feel like I should definitely know this.
You should definitely know this.
Zach, how do we not know this? Tom Hanks, Bill Paxton.
Which one is Bill Paxton?
The middle one.
This is Apollo 13.
Apollo 13. You got
Oh,
it.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. You got Jim Lovell, Fred Hayes, and Jack Swigert.
Sure.
And yeah, it's about the Apollo 13 mission. Supposed to be landing on the moon, and they had a problem. And what became a routine mission to the moon became a recovery mission to bring home 3 astronauts. Directed by Ron Howard. Probably, I think when we did our Ron Howard list, we all put this as number 1.
Pretty sure Da Vinci Code was my number 1.
Oh, okay. So Zach and I definitely put this as our number 1.
Oh, geez.
And it's a really fun historical action adventure, problem solving movie, space movie.
I agree.
Cool. My number 9 is here's the 3 people: Keira Knightley, Carey Mulligan, and Andrew Garfield.
Oh, is this Never Let It Go? Never Let Me Go?
Never Let Me Go.
Never Let
Okay.
Me Go.
Yeah.
Correct!
Yeah, this is that low sci-fi film written by Alex Garland.
Yep.
And I don't want to say too much because it might give away the plot, but these 3 are kind of young adults growing up together, learning about themselves. It's really good.
Yeah, and it's written by, did you say that? Alex Garland.
Yes.
Oh, Alex Garland wrote this movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Alex Garland wrote it too.
Also written by Alex Garland.
My number 8 stars Wallace Shawn, Mandy Patinkin, and Andre the Giant.
Princess Bride.
That's correct.
Such a great trio of bad guys, and they all get their turn in the movie. It's awesome, and I love it. My number 8.
They're bad guys?
They're bad guys in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they go over to the other side, but they start out as bad guys. They're
Well-
hired. They're mercenaries.
Wallace Shawn never makes it over to the other side,
Well, you understand what I mean.
but the other 2 do.
Sure.
I consider that list, but I was going to use Carrie Elwes instead of Wallace Shawn.
See, that would violate my hard and fast rule
Well, I don't care. All
What's
right.
your hard and fast rule?
that they have to all be on the same side of the movie.
Even though they start on different sides.
But they
I think we broke James.
are on the same side of the movie in the second half, aren't they? Aren't
Oh,
they on the same side?
within, like, the first-
or-
Within the first 20 minutes, they're on the same
They
side.
are, but they don't start there. They move there.
Well, yeah, in Red Notice, they don't start on the same side. One guy is trying to hunt him down and arrest him.
I know. That's why Red Notice isn't on my list. It'd be number 1 if only they were all on the same side.
All right. My number 8, you are not going to get, but I'm going to say him
Okay.
anyway. Verna Felton, Barbara Luddy, Barbara Jo Allen.
You are correct. I have no clue what that is. Zach?
All right.
Is it 3 women?
Let me give you their character names. See if you get it this time.
Okay.
Flora, Fauna. Merriweather.
Yeah, it's Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, these are the 3 fairies from Sleeping Beauty.
All right.
That was on my short list.
Excellent. So these are the 3 fairies who are tasked with protecting Sleeping Beauty after Maleficent curses her with being pricked by a spindle before her 16th birthday. And they're definitely the comic relief of the movie, but since they're fairies with magical powers, they also have a lot of fun in the movie too.
Nice.
I'm looking at my list, and 7 of my 10, the trio is 2 guys and a girl. I'm curious if you guys have a similar breakdown. This seems to be a very popular trio, and it's the same for Red Notice.
2 guys and a girl?
Yeah.
4 of mine are 2 guys and a girl.
James?
Most of mine, I would say 6 are 2 guys and a girl.
Interesting.
Well, I mean,
No, I have one that's
okay.
2 girls and a guy,
Okay.
but no all girls.
This one will be easy. Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon.
Some Like It Hot.
That's right.
That's correct.
Yeah. This is a comedy, Some Like It Hot, where Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon dress as women in order to hide out. And it's really funny, and it's by Billy Wilder.
And you own it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
My number 7 is starring Emily Blunt, Josh Brolin, and Benicio del Toro.
Sicario.
Sicario?
That's correct.
Yeah, Sicario. Love
Good
this
choice.
movie.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And I think they're all great in it, and they play off each other. They're on the same side, but it's also they're kind of not on the same side, and it's great. I like it. My number 7.
Good choice. All right, my number 7. Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, Robert Shaw.
Jaws.
You got it. Yeah, this is the sheriff, the oceanographer, and the grizzled sailor team up to hunt the shark, which is never named. It's not called Jaws. But it's a great name. And yeah, I mean, definitely the second half of the movie is the three of them on a boat trying to track this giant shark. And Robert Shaw is such a chameleon actor for me, where you see him in Jaws and he's Quint and he's like, again, grizzled sailor. And then you see him in Goldfinger and he's like this super buff, like almost robot looking macho guy, who's an enemy. And then you see him in The Sting and he's like a card hustler. And Robert Shaw is one of these actors where every time he pops up in something, he's playing a different character. Like, I don't think he was ever typecast. And I just want to explore more of his movies.
I never think about Robert Shaw.
You should think more about Robert Shaw.
I've never done it. I guess I need to.
You're fine. Okay. My number 7 is, okay. Thomas Mann, RJ Kyler, and Olivia Cook.
Give it to me again.
Thomas Mann, RJ Kyler, and Olivia Cook.
Can we get a year?
Yes. 2015.
Yeah, I was going to say it feels like it's relatively recent, but I feel like I should
James
know
has not
this.
seen this film.
Oh,
you haven't
okay.
seen it, though.
Have I seen this movie?
I shouldn't know it then.
You have not seen this movie either.
Okay, then go hit us.
Me and Earl and the Dying Girl.
All right.
It starts as a duo with me and Earl, and then they befriend a dying girl, a girl dying with cancer. These two best friends love making movies together, and then they meet a manic pixie dream girl who's dying of cancer, and it kind of like the three of them all bond together, and it's a really great movie.
Still on my list. I want to see it someday. As soon as I've seen all the movies it references, then I will finally watch it.
But you don't know what movies it references.
There's a list on Wikipedia.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
My number 6 stars Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, and Keira Knightley.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, and this one's Dead Man's Chest.
Whatever the first one is.
It's the first, Black Pearl.
It is
Curse
the
of the Black
first one.
Pearl.
Curse of the Black Pearl. What a great fun movie. This cast was the series at its best. Later on, they lost Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley. Like, they lost kind of the trio-ness of the movies. And I think the series suffered for it. And the first one is the best, always and forever. My number 6.
All right. I don't think you're going to get this one, but I'll try it. Laurence Olivier, Joan Fontaine, Judith Anderson.
Not a chance.
1940.
No.
Casablanca.
No.
Nope. Alfred Hitchcock.
No.
There's a movie called Alfred Hitchcock?
No, he's the director.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know what Laurence Olivier was in that Hitchcock made.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. This is Rebecca.
All right.
Rebecca is, so Laurence Olivier plays Maxim de Winter. He has just married his second wife, who's played by Judith Anderson. Sorry, not Joan Fontaine, who's playing his second wife, who in the movie is just called Mrs. de Winter. We never learn her full name. She's always referred to as just Mrs. de Winter. And so anyway, the de Winters go back to his mansion called Mandalay, which is on the ocean. And she's so happy to be married to this very rich man, even though she's the second wife. And she starts to learn more and more about the first wife, who was called Rebecca. And Rebecca is sort of this specter, not a literal ghost, but just, the memory of Rebecca hangs over the house. and especially through the housekeeper, Mrs. Danvers, who's played by Judith Anderson. If I get those confused. Um, Mrs. Danvers is just not happy that there is a new woman in this house in Manderley. And I think this is one of my favorite Hitchcock movies. It's a top 100 for me. It's definitely pulpier than something like Vertigo or what's the other one that's Psycho, things like that. But it's very well directed, obviously, and it's got, like, not like Gone Girl, but if you kind of like movies in that Gone Girl phase, I think you would dig this one a lot.
Cool.
Great. Okay, mine. I'm having trouble figuring out who one of the three leads is, but I'm trying to Google it while I stall. But two of them for sure are Michael J. Fox, Sally, what's her name? Sally Field. And
Sally.
the third one,
Michael J.
Sally Field.
Fox, Sally Field.
Sally Field.
Don Amici
Don Amici.
is the third.
Doc
Don Amici
Holliday.
is the third. No.
Hollywood Doc. What was the name of that movie where he was like a doc from Hollywood?
Doc Holliday, I think.
Oh.
Doc Hollywood?
Doc Hollywood, yeah.
No.
Teen Wolf.
No. Sally Field's on Teen Wolf.
It wasn't Back to the Future. So
I'm sure there's some obvious Michael J. Fox movie we're forgetting.
those are the obvious ones.
No. Their character names, maybe that'll help. Shadow, Chance, and Sassy.
Oh, this is Homeward Bound.
Yeah.
There
Homeward
you
Bound.
go. Yep.
Yeah. It took a lot of Googling to figure out who played Shadow. But yeah, this is where two dogs and a cat. Oh, yeah, I think I included this in my two guys and a girl list. Get lost from their owners and they cross the country to find them again. I think it's based on a true story.
It's a remake of a movie called The Incredible Journey.
Yes.
But I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah. Anyway, classic trio.
Nice. I've seen that. No memory of it. Saw it as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's so good.
I watched that all the time as a kid.
Did not affect me.
Yeah.
At the end there, when you're not sure about the third one,
Shadow.
Oh, it's
I was
heartbreaking.
sure.
Oh my goodness.
But then it's
he's in the hole.
Yeah. Oof.
Nothing.
All right, James, what do you got?
My number 5 is Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, and Martin Short.
This Three Amigos. I knew you were gonna have this on your list.
Three Amigos. Absolutely. Can't make this list of movie trios and not have the Three Amigos, the three friends. It's like
Are
this
they
podcast.
friends?
This is like a podcast version of Three Amigos, basically.
They're more like coworkers.
I don't think they're friends in Three Amigos.
They turn out to be friends. They are not very friendly in the beginning, but then they become a team. And
I thought all you care about is how a movie starts.
well, they are on the same acting team at the beginning.
That's true.
They might be squabbling, but they're on the same team. And I love this movie, and I think it's funny. I think it holds up over time, and or has held up over time, and I enjoy it a lot. My number 5, Three Amigos.
I mean, the comedy's dated. It hasn't held up.
It's funnier now than it was in the 80s.
No, if you like that late 80s, like Chevy Chase, Martin Short, broad style comedy,
you're right.
Then,
if you like
it's
laughing,
gonna hold up.
then it's held up.
It's gonna hold up. But like, if you're used to Ryan Reynolds comedy and then you watch Three Amigos, you're gonna be like, what is this?
No, I submit. Ryan Reynolds learned everything he knows watching Three Amigos easily.
I agree with James on that. So.
Okay.
I think Ryan Reynolds would fit well in Three Amigos.
Maybe
Absolutely.
Ryan Reynolds was a bad example then, but you're watching Judd Apatow, very current director.
Oh, Judd Apatow. I like Judd Apatow movies, but he kind of makes like non-comedy comedies,
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, earlier on in his career, they were like more straight comedies, but last 10 years, it's been non-comedy comedies. What's your next one, Kyle?
My number 5 is the previously mentioned Some Like It Hot. And yeah, like Zach said, in this movie, Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon are musicians on the run. I think they like witness a mob hit or something like that. And the only way they can get out of town is if they join a band of all female musicians. So they dress as women, join this band, and then promptly befriend Marilyn Monroe, who's the band leader, and then fall in love with her, but can't reveal that they are men dressed as women. So hijinks ensue from there.
Man, I got to see
It's a
this
very
movie.
fun. It's now this is a comedy that holds up.
We'll see about that.
It's very
One of my
funny.
favorite final films or final lines of a movie.
Nobody's perfect.
You know, I got a Blu-ray collection of all of Marilyn Monroe's movies, and I put it on eBay. And then I was like, you know, I really should keep this because I haven't seen any of her movies. It's like all 7 or 8 of them or whatever. And I was like, I should really keep this because chances of me just coming across it and getting it at the price I did are like really slim. I was like, I'm going to keep it. I put it on my shelf. And then like 2 months later, eBay notification, Blu-ray sold.
Oh,
I was like, oh man, I forgot to take it down. So I had
what did
to,
it sell for?
I should have just told them I lost it or something, but I had to ship it. It's the right thing.
What'd you sell
do.
it for?
It's the right thing to do.
you had 3 days to binge those movies.
Yeah, I guess.
3 business days.
Zach.
All right. My number 5, starring Andy Samberg, Akiva Schaffer, and Yorma Taccone.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, this is a
Pop star,
Pop
never
Star.
stop, never stopping.
Exactly, yeah.
I got it more correct.
Which
Correct.
talk you didn't say the colon. To talk about a comedy that's really funny. This one is so funny and clever and well done. And it's great.
That's a good one, Zach. I endorse that pick. My number 4 is Keanu Reeves, Carrie Ann Moss, and Lawrence Fishburne
Matrix.
The Matrix.
in The Matrix. Yes. What can be
Considered
said
a-
about The Matrix? We're inside it. It's all that can be said. My number 3. 4.
Number
My
3.
number 4. My number 4.
4.
Sorry, The Matrix got to me for a second.
Oh, that was our glitch right there.
Mhm. That was the glitch.
My number 4, Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Yep, this is the Martin Scorsese mob movie. And what can be said about Goodfellas? It's great. It's I mean, probably the best performances from all 3 of those. De Niro, we could probably
No,
argue.
My Cousin Vinny.
You think
The 2 Utes.
You think Pesci's better in My Cousin Vinny than he is in?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
I do.
I
Or
think
Casino.
most people on the planet would disagree with that statement, but for Zach,
Do they have a
I
podcast?
understand why he thinks that. What's your number 4, Zach?
All right. Again, I'm trying to
Have you heard of
get the
Letterboxd?
cast. No, I do. My internet is just going so incredibly slow. Like
Oh, okay.
nothing is pulling up. But I have heard of it's the cast which is slowing me down because if it's not immediately apparent, I need to like Google and then it's an extra Google. Like so far, all of this stalling is just waiting for a web page to load. Okay, so my number 4 has 3 people in it that form a trio.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about to tell you who they are. To build anticipation, I believe both of you have seen this film.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you know the year?
Yeah, 1952.
Okay.
Okay. Stars Donald O'Connor, Debbie Reynolds, and Gene Kelly.
Sing in the Rain.
That's correct.
It was the Donald O'Connor that I couldn't get.
Oh, is that
right
Cosmo?
away. Yeah, that's
Yep.
Cosmo. Love this movie, and I talk about chemistry between 3 characters. These guys are gold on stage together. So I liked it quite a bit.
I dug the dancing, but I don't like that movie. Everything I hate about musicals in one movie, basically.
Yeah.
My
James, number 3.
3 is starring Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Harold Ramis.
Ghostbusters.
Correct.
Ghostbusters.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
there's
Ernie Erasure.
4 of them.
Again, but this isn't a Three Kings scenario, all
just
right? The
whitewashing
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters here.
No. Anybody who knows the Ghostbusters knows that's the trio, and then Ernie Hudson is also a Ghostbuster, but he's not the main trio.
He's
of
the
Ghostbusters.
Spike Jones of Ghostbusters.
Yes, that's.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's
but
how he's been
it
referred
is
to.
literally, it's literally there are 4 Ghostbusters.
Yeah, there are 4 Ghostbusters, but there's definitely a more prominent cast in Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Harold Ramis.
Sure, but it's like saying that the Beatles are a famous trio.
And then Ringo Starr is in there too.
Yeah, that's a lot of people who love the Beatles would say that's true.
Oh yeah, the Beatles, the Fab 3.
Anyway, what can you say about the Ghostbusters? I love it.
You could say that
I-
Ernie's in it.
I admit Ernie's in it just as much as Spike Jones is in Three Kings, and yet it's called Three Kings because it's about 3 people that happens to have a 4th character in it.
That's
So does the
right.
What's funny is
It is called Three
we made a list
Ghostbusters,
of-
isn't it? I forgot about that.
if we made a list of like movies with
Like 4s, yeah.
Ghostbusters would definitely be on the list.
Look, there were more people in the Matrix as well, and you guys didn't give me a hard time, right? I'm not talking about movies that only have 3 people in it.
But everyone can pretty much agree that those 3 of the Matrix are the 3 main characters and the ones that survive. Spoiler alert.
Joe Pantoliano has a fairly big role in the original Matrix.
Well, yeah, but
Probably more
so-
than you remember.
So does
Yeah,
Hugo
but
Weaving.
he's the bad guy.
Joe Pantoliano's on their team.
But
He's not a bad
No,
guy.
he's not.
He turns.
Wait,
He
hold on.
turns, but
Joey
he starts the
Pants-
movie on their team.
Yeah, but he's
No,
already
dude.
turned. By the time the movie starts, he's already gone.
Yeah,
broken
he has
bad.
already
No.
turned.
You actually see him turn over the course.
But
I just rewatched The Matrix. Trust me. on
You
this.
hold on.
so
So James, you
when
would
you see Joey
think about
Pants,
putting that on a list of 4. You're like, oh yeah, that foursome.
No, I wouldn't. That's
For
what I'm
The
saying.
Matrix.
He's not a part of a foursome. He's the 4th person in a movie with a trio, just like Ernie Hudson in Ghostbusters.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Poor
If
Ernie.
if you ask the
Ah.
average person who the Ghostbusters are, they're not going to list Ernie Hudson. People our age, people who really love the Ghostbusters, nerds, they're all going to throw Ernie Hudson in at the end because he's the 4th Ghostbuster who doesn't matter as much.
Doesn't matter.
That's just a fact
like
of
him.
life. I like him too. He's perfectly fine in his supporting role.
I mean, he's just like Irma. Like, he supports them. He doesn't fight ghosts or have a proton pack or have to worry about crossing streams. He just answers the phone, drives the car.
Exactly.
I think my Beatles analogy is fairly apt.
I agree.
Disagree. Hey guys at Cinereelists.com.
I'm gonna defend James now. Doesn't Ernie not come back for the second movie though?
I believe Ernie's in the second movie. Not much because he's the 4th guy, but he is in there, I believe.
Or did he get recast then?
No. they did
Okay.
not recast.
I haven't seen the second movie in a long time. So
I thought that
All
one
right.
was your favorite.
the what was my favorite?
I thought Ghostbusters 2 no, that's Back to the Future.
Back to the Future 2 is my
Back to the
favorite.
Future 2 is your favorite.
I mean, you want to talk about a trio: Doc, Marty, the DeLorean.
The DeLorean is a character in the movie.
I almost put that on my list. Almost.
I was tempted to do. I was trying to think of one where I could make New York a character, in the movie, but I couldn't. I couldn't think of one.
Escape from New York.
York.
Some Woody Allen movie. I was thinking about doing Back to the Future 3 with
Mhm.
Clara.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could probably do Doc, Marty, and Biff, not by James rules, but they're
Right.
definitely like the three characters of that trilogy that appear the
Yeah.
most. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
My number 3 is the previously mentioned The Matrix, but now that I realize that Joey Pants is the fourth one on there, I may have to take this off my list because he is just as pivotal as Morpheus, Neo,
This
and
power
Trinity.
team.
Yeah,
No.
and Cypher. Can't forget Cypher.
Yeah. Okay, my number 3, Viggo Mortensen, Orlando Bloom, and John Rhys Davies.
Lord of the
This
Rings.
is Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Correct.
A movie with tons of characters, but they kind of, all get split up into, little mini groups. And this particular mini group is a lot of fun, a lot of good chemistry, a lot of great stuff comes from it. So,
And they're also, aside from the Hobbits, they're kind of the 3 Fellowship members that stick around.
spoiler alert.
No, I didn't say what happens to the rest of them. I said they stuck around.
Meaning they don't die. All the peril,
I
the
never
9
said,
hours of peril are for naught because they don't die.
James, why are you spoiling Lord of the Rings
I'm
and
not
telling
spoiling.
the listeners that people die?
It's only a 60, 70-year-old story. How long has that been in publication?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. My number 2 is a movie that stars Matthew Broderick, Alan Ruck, and Mia Sara.
Oh, this is Ferris Bueller. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Love this 80s comedy coming of age movie. And yeah, I mean, but I don't need to bloviate about Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's awesome. My number 2.
I I looked up my number 2. I don't know why I did this.
Mhm.
Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher. I'm like, why did I go?
Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
That's correct.
I mean, is Mark Hamill's barely in Force Awakens.
But he is in it.
He is in it, yes. I mean, we'll just say Star Wars in general.
Okay.
Obviously, there's tons of characters, that play pivotal roles, but the story, the universe really centers on these 3. The prequels, not so much, that's a little bit different, but definitely the original trilogy and the new trilogy, those 3 characters are central to all the events that are happening.
Yeah. Okay, my number 2, Jean Moreau, Oscar Werner, and Henry Cyr.
Year.
And since you don't know,
Year.
it's Jewel. You don't know.
Jewel of the
James.
Nile.
1962. Jules and Jim.
Oh.
Oh,
This is like a love triangle movie where it's 2 friends meet a girl and they all just kind of love each other, and it's so good. It's like if you aren't into foreign films and you want to break through, this is a great one because it's in French, but it's so fast paced and watchable and fun that I think it's great. So Jules and Jim, 1962. It's good. It's a Francois Truffaut movie.
Nice.
James,
My
what's your
number
number
1
1?
is can you guys guess my number 1 without me even saying?
Is it
it's Star Wars.
Mark Hamill, Harrison
It's
Ford, and
Star
Carrie
Wars.
Fisher?
Yeah, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford. I'm way too predictable. Star Wars. We'll just leave it at that. What's your number 1, Kyle?
My number 1 is Lee Van Cleef, Eli Wallach, Clint Eastwood.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Correct. This is a Sergio,
Oops, wrong button.
wrong one. Sergio Leone Western. Probably his most famous, my favorite Western. And in this movie, those 3 characters, Clint Eastwood playing, he's called Blondie by Eli Wallach. He's the good. Lee Van Cleef is the bad. Angel Eyes, a hitman, and then Eli Wallach playing, I think, Tuco is the ugly. And they're all searching for a buried treasure while the Civil War is occurring at the same time. And this is it's I don't know what else to say about this movie. It's a classic. All your spaghetti western tropes came from this movie, but they're not tropes in this movie because it's the first time they were done. Or not the first time, but they were definitely solidified within this movie.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay, my number one, I think shares a lot in common with Red Notice, just better. Mel Gibson, Jodie Foster, and James Garner.
Maverick. Nice.
Correct!
Yeah, they're all con artists and thieves, and they have such great just chemistry and comedic timing with each other, and it's just, yeah, I love these three talking to each other. So, Maverick.
Yeah, you're right. Maverick is a better version of Red Notice. And I'm pretty sure Maverick has a scene where Jodie Foster and Mel Gibson have to dance or do something, and you can feel that chemistry and electricity between them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I like that movie. It's been a long time since I've seen Maverick, though. I don't know how. I feel like it would feel very 90s if I watched it again today. Like, and
Well,
not
it's a
in a
period
good
piece.
way.
Well, yeah, it's a period. So is Good, Bad, and the Ugly a period piece, but it still looks like it was shot in the 60s in Italy.
Right. That's what I mean. It would feel like a 90s version of a comedic Western. I'm not sure.
I
it would hold
think
up,
you'll
but
be pleasantly surprised.
I hope so.
Very
really do.
pleasantly.
Zach, do you want to know my Maverick memory?
I would love to know your
Okay.
Maverick memory.
I think it was my 12th or 13th birthday. And I was doing like a birthday sleepover. And I invited you over. Plus, I invited like my new middle school friends.
Okay.
Right, because like in middle
This
school,
is sixth grade.
it's 6th or 7th grade, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay.
And
you all played Playmobil all night?
no, we played Dungeons and Dragons. We're not nerds. Anyway, so one of the things is like I rented Maverick because you and I had seen it before, and like, oh, this would be a fun movie to watch like with my friends, and we put on Maverick, and you and I were totally into it. And then my new middle school friends, at like 20 minutes in, were like, let's go do something else. And like, we did not. I was kind of mad that we didn't finish Maverick that night. To go out, we played in the basement.
I didn't like your new middle school friends.
You were just jealous that I had new friends.
They were just no, but they weren't great friends.
Yeah, I mean, who am I still friends with? You.
Exactly.
So.
I still got the friendship bracelet.
Oh, I thought I sold that to other people.
You did steal it.
I didn't steal that one.
You stole it back.
I thought.
Yeah, you stole that one back.
Okay.
All right. Enough of this nonsense. Let's do one quick trivia game just for the heck of it. Out of nowhere.
I was promised 2 trivia games, James.
All right. No, one. I'm only doing one. I got 2,
All right.
but we're only doing one this week. Maybe we'll do another one next week.
All right.
But I got a new movie trivia game. And this has updated questions, meaning like we're not stuck in the 90s. These aren't going to be movies about the Oscars in 1950. I mean, there might be questions like that, but there's also going to be questions about movies that happened last year type of thing. Okay.
Timothy Chalamet.
So here we go. Basically, I'm going to ask a question. We're going to bounce between you two. If one of you can't answer, then the other one can steal for full points. All right.
Okay.
Can somebody keep score?
I'll keep score.
Zach's going to keep score.
Can I quickly say some honorable mentions for my list?
Sure.
Just very quickly. These aren't from a movie, so I didn't put it on, but Yakko, Wacko, and Dot are one of the best trios in pop culture.
Tiny Toon,
in my opinion. No,
whatever.
Animaniacs. Yeah. I don't care that much, but Harry, Ron, and Hermione should at least get mentioned in this podcast. Whatever. And that's all I care to mention. Oh, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I couldn't remember. Would that count for this?
Oh, I thought about it, but I don't know.
And then I also couldn't exactly remember Glengarry Glen Ross. Would that count for this?
No, I think it's more of an ensemble.
Yep.
Okay.
I had 4 that fell off my list: Ben Affleck, Joey Lauren Adams, and Jason Lee.
Oh, Chasing Amy.
No.
Chasing Amy. Christina, Juan Antonio, and Marie Elena were the names of the characters in Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep.
Okay.
Which is why you've never heard of them. Andy, Ducky, and Blaine in
16 Candles.
Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink.
Close. Pretty close. George McFly, Lorraine Baines, and Marty McFly in original Back to the Future.
Original Back to the Future, yeah.
But not on the same team, so you know.
George McFly was terrible in the original Back to the Future.
But he was a
George
pivotal
McFly?
character.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, George McFly. Lorraine was great. George McFly was he's the worst part of that movie.
I like what's his name? The actor.
Oh,
I like his performance. It's very weird, but it's good.
Yeah, I can't think of his Crispin Glover.
I think it stands out like a sore thumb. If it was a lot less weird, it would fit better.
I enjoyed it. How dare you? All right, here we go. We're going to start with Zach. Ready, Zach? BB-8 is an astromech droid in which film series?
The new Star Wars movies?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Correct.
I love how these are new updated questions. First one, Star Wars.
Hey, that's updated.
It is. BB-8 is, yeah.
Kyle, which documentary was intended to be about cheating in cycling and ended up uncovering the largest doping scandal in the history of sports?
Oh, I don't know what it's called, but it was on Netflix. It's about the Russian cycling team.
Zach guaranteed knows
I
this.
know. I know what it is. I can't say what it's called. So Zach can steal if he needs to.
Zach doesn't know it.
It's 3 words. The Imitation Game?
No.
No. The answer was Icarus.
Oh, Icarus. Yes.
Icarus.
Famously
I can't
3
believe you
words.
didn't steal that, Zach.
I didn't like that movie.
Zach, who composed the theme for Star Wars?
Wait, Zach gets 2 Star Wars questions, and I get obscure Netflix documentary.
Kyle, so let me just get this straight. We're 3 questions in, and you're complaining.
Of course, I'm gonna complain.
About
yeah,
the okay.
Of course.
John Williams.
Who?
John Williams.
That's correct.
All right, Kyle. What is Ron Burgundy's job in the Anchorman films?
He's an anchorman,
What kind of Anchorman?
a newscaster.
That's correct.
Zach, in which university city is the theory of everything set?
My gut says Oxford.
That's not the city.
Oxford. Kyle?
Cambridge.
That's correct.
Cambridge. Kyle, who composed the theme for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
Ennio Morricone.
That's correct.
Zach, what was Dan Aykroyd's cameo role in the 2017 version of Ghostbusters?
Does he play an original Ghostbuster?
Kyle?
Believe he plays a cab driver.
That's correct.
He plays a cab driver. Kyle, what is the job of Robin Williams' character in Good Morning Vietnam?
A newscaster. He's a radio man. A radio broadcaster, a DJ.
That's correct.
Zach, this is a quote. Why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves up. Why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves up.
Rocky?
No. Kyle?
Rocky 4.
That's
Is it
correct.
Rocky
No,
Balboa?
no, that's not correct.
That was right. Oh
Is
my
it
God.
Rocky Balboa?
It's absolutely not.
It's probably not Rocky at
The
all.
movie that quote is from, according to this card, because I don't remember this, is from The Dark Knight Rises. Very inspirational film, evidently.
Okay.
I mean, Dark Knight Rises, if it was like I Was Born in Darkness or something like that. That would make sense.
Sure.
But why do we follow pick ourselves up? That could be any movie.
I agree. That would make more sense.
You should have
Kyle,
said that like Bane next time. That would be helpful.
what are the 2 colors on Uma Thurman's outfit in Kill Bill?
I'm assuming they mean the Game of Death inspired one, which is yellow and black.
That's correct.
I'm sure she wears other outfits in that movie besides that one.
Zach,
We're
which
gonna need all the colors.
which Danny Boyle movie was given a sequel 21 years after the original picture? Which Danny Boyle movie was given a sequel
Sure.
21 years after the original picture?
Ah, man, 21 years. I mean, the first thing that came to mind was 28 Days Later, but I don't think 21 years passed in between those movies. But that's going to be my guess because I don't know.
You say 21 days later?
Yeah.
Kyle,
Train Spotting.
Or
That's
28.
correct.
Train Spotting.
That makes way more sense.
Kyle, which pop star made a brief cameo appearance in the movie 50 Shades Darker?
Ed Sheeran?
Ed Sheeran. Yeah, that's my guess.
Oh, spoiler alert.
No, it's not. Only if you say that. It's only
Now
a
it's a
spoiler
now
alert
it's a
if you say
spoiler
that.
alert.
All right.
Good job, James.
Zach, are you going to steal this one?
50 Shades Darker. What pop star?
Mm-hmm.
Adele.
No. Rita Ora. I don't even know
Who?
who that is.
Who
I
is
don't know.
Rita
I don't know who
Ora?
that is. Oprah. Okay, this is for Kyle? No, Zach.
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 Oprah Winfrey plays which character in A Wrinkle in Time?
She plays a witch.
Which witch?
It might be which witch.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That's correct.
It's not which witch, but I'll give it to you. It's Miss Witch.
Miss Witch.
Okay.
Kyle,
I think they had names like who and which and
the
Rita-
Red Turtle was the first feature from Studio Ghibli with a non-Japanese director, Michael Dudok DeWitt. What nationality is he? What's the nationality of the director of The Red Turtle?
Michael, say his name again.
Michael Dudok DeWitt.
I don't know. American.
Zach.
is he British?
He's Dutch. I don't know how you guys didn't get that. Oscar winning. Who's up?
Zach is up.
I am.
Oscar winning movie Moonlight was predominantly set in what U.S. city?
I don't know this. I'm gonna guess
come on.
Atlanta.
The city's a character in the movie.
Okay.
You say
I'm gonna
Atlanta?
guess Atlanta.
Kyle, come on. You guys need to rewatch Moonlight, obviously.
Okay, hold on. It's on the ocean. L.A.
Oh my gosh. It's sad.
No.
Miami.
Oh.
Jeez, Will Smith. How many times?
Will Smith is. Oh, he's not in that movie.
Kyle, how many times has Michael Sheen played Tony Blair on film?
Michael Sheen?
How many times has Michael Sheen played Tony Blair on film?
Who's Michael Sheen?
No.
Who's Tony Blair?
Tony Blair was the PM of
right,
of the
Prime Minister.
Yeah. I don't know. 3. He was
That's
in.
correct.
That's
Okay.
correct. 3.
Did I say
Good
which
guess.
3?
Zach. Let's do 3 more. Ready? 3
Did
more
they say which?
cards.
Did they say which
Okay.
3?
They don't say which.
Oh,
3.
that's great. Okay.
Which role did Judi Dench reprise in 2017? Queen what?
Queen.
Queen.
Hold on, I'm thinking. Okay, read the question.
Which royal role, I think I skipped that word last time. Which royal role did Judi Dench reprise in 2017?
Man, I'll say Queen Elizabeth.
Incorrect, but I'm still going to give it to you for Queen.
Oh, Queen
Vic-
Victoria. Come
Queen
on.
Victoria.
No, Queen Victoria. It says
Is it?
It's the question is royal. Which royal did she reprise?
But
Queen?
he didn't read that. He didn't read that.
The second time he did.
He came up with Queen
But
on
I
his
guessed
own.
Queen after the first
Oh,
time.
come
He just couldn't
Is
figure
it-
out which Queen.
Is it Queen or Princess? Judi Dench. What is she playing? Huh? Was she a duchess? This is a tough one. Come on, guys. Queen Victoria.
All right, Kyle. You're up.
Uh,
Ready? As
good
of
luck.
2018, All About Eve, Titanic, and which other movie have been nominated for 14 Academy Awards?
As of 2017?
2018.
2018. Okay.
All About Eve, Titanic, and a third movie have been nominated for 14 Academy Awards. What's that movie?
It's something sooner than this, but I'm going to say Avatar because I just can't think of anything sooner than that.
Zach.
Return of the King.
Yeah, that's my set. Oh, okay. That's a good one. That was a
No.
good guess.
The answer? La 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 Land.
That had
Wow.
that many Oscar nominations?
That's why when it didn't win, it was like very shocking because it was cleaning up in the nominations.
Wow.
That's part of the reason why when it didn't win, it was shocking.
Right.
yes. Yeah.
It's the smaller reason. It was
Minus
shocking.
like the whole announcement portion of the ceremony.
All right, here we go. Zach, what is Sean Connery's real first name?
Sean Connery's?
Sean Connery's real first name.
Oh, Sean Connery?
Sean.
Gregory.
The answer? Thomas.
when you said Michael Sheen, that last question, I'm like, which one's Michael Sheen? There's Martin, there's Emilio, there's Charlie. Am I forgetting one?
Yeah.
All right, Kyle. In what kind of car does Michael J. Fox go back to the future in?
The third character, the DeLorean.
Wow, there's absolutely a misprint on this card. It says
What?
the answer, according to the card, is 13.
Well, I mean, according to the card.
Yeah, well, Zach got points for Queen.
I'll give you the
Well,
points.
she did play. She
That's
did
correct.
play the queen.
Which queen? The queen refers to the current living queen.
But
she played
but
a queen.
no, it doesn't.
Yes, no. If I say, "Oh, yeah, I'm talking about the queen," and you're like, "Oh, Queen Elizabeth," like, no, Queen Victoria, silly. The queen, obviously.
All right.
No. If I'm saying like, oh, I went back in time and I met the queen, you would not think it's the current queen.
Well, of
You
course,
think it's
because you
the
went back in
queen back then.
time, because you're still referring to back in time. I wouldn't be like, "Oh, you meant Queen Elizabeth when she was negative."
She's negative 300 years old.
Exactly.
Last questions for
no,
questions for each
Hold
of
on.
you.
Michael J. Fox rode 13 back in time.
Fun fact: the car's called.
It
13.
says moops.
It's in the novel, so it's the only way you're gonna know that. But
Yeah, for sure. Last question for both of you. 5-point question.
wait, is it first to
Wow.
get it?
No, you each get one
Oh,
question.
okay.
It's worth 5 points.
Last question each. Got
All
it.
right. This is huge.
Zach?
This is huge. Yeah.
For which movie did Tim Burton have 40 squirrels trained to crack nuts?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That's correct.
That's correct. Kyle, how many times is the phrase old sport said during the 2013 version of The Great Gatsby?
I know.
I'll give you a 5-point spread on this.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I've never seen
It's a
this
very
movie.
attractive offer.
You've never seen The Great Gatsby?
No, I've not this version. I saw the Robert Redford version.
Sure.
I read the book. I don't know. You give me a 5-point spread.
Yep.
Can I say
how many
right
times
now?
is the phrase
Do I know
old-
the score right now?
old sport? I do want to know the score.
We're tied.
You're tied, so this will be
what?
Yeah.
We're tied.
This decides it.
if you don't get
If he
it,
gets it or I
Zach gets
get
a
it.
crack at it. And
Yeah.
if he doesn't get it, then I guess we do a tiebreaker question.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. 12.
That is nowhere. No.
No, you can't say.
do
Oh,
I get
you
a
can't say
guess?
nowhere. Now you're giving him a
Zach?
Well, I wouldn't have guessed close to 12 anyways because I've seen this movie.
Mhm.
I'm gonna guess 49.
Oh my gosh. Zach, you're killing me. The answer was
What?
55. You did not make the spread by 1. You did not make the spread by 1. All right.
Man.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, you've been totally robbed this game.
2 more 5-point questions.
Wow.
Zach,
Wow. Okay.
which was the first science fiction movie to win Best Picture at the Oscars? The first science fiction movie to win Best Picture.
I don't know this offhand, so I'm gonna just quickly think about it. A science fiction movie winning Best Picture?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? Are you sure you want to ask that?
I'm sure.
He
You can't
needs
even
to
come up
Google-
with a guess?
He needs to Google faster. So
Yeah, you can clearly see I'm Googling.
you've got that new.
Well, you know this is video recorded, right?
Yeah, I can't see your hands. You could just be like touch typing.
Yeah. It's exactly. It's interesting that your mind goes there.
We also know how slow your internet
Um,
is, so you have to really stall.
No, I literally can't think of a single science fiction movie that would have won. So I can't think of any science fiction movies that have won Best Picture. I'll say I don't even know what I'm guessing here. I'll go with
I need an answer
I don't
or
know.
give up.
I'll go with Jurassic Park.
Kyle.
There might be something sooner. I'm gonna go Gravity.
Gravity win Best Picture?
I don't remember. I don't
I don't
remember.
think it did.
Okay.
The answer? The Shape of Water.
Oh.
The Shape of Water.
Okay.
All right.
That's not
Kyle.
science fiction. That's
This
fantasy.
is your chance. In the kissing booth, which rule states that Elle can't be with Lee's brother?
What are these words?
Kyle, come on.
In the kissing booth, which rule states that Elle can't be with Lee's brother?
Obviously, it's rule number 4.
It is not rule number 4. Zach? Can you steal it?
No siblings.
No. It was rule 9. We keep going. Zach, which singer / actor gave Marilyn Monroe a white poodle named Mafia? Which singer
Can you read it
/
again?
actor gave Marilyn Monroe a white poodle named Mafia?
Singer actor
Mm-hmm.
gave her called Mafia. Is this Frank Sinatra?
That's correct.
Oh, come on.
Good job. All right, Kyle. You either tie it or lose it. Here we go. How many love letters does Laura Jean Covey write in To All the Boys I've Loved Before?
No. Nope. Next question. Not even. No. I'm not
Hey,
going to dignify
it's luck
this.
of the draw.
I'm not going to dignify this.
Kyle, I don't think you can pass.
No, I'm
On
not
the
going to.
question.
I'm going to take my ball and leave.
How many love letters
So thank you
Does-
for listening to this episode of Cinereelists.
does Laura
505.
Jean Covey write into All the Boys I've Loved Before? So she probably wrote one letter per boy. I would guess.
Yeah.
I've never
Maybe,
seen
so
it.
just count the number of boys that she loved before.
This could be a story about monogamy.
How long is a movie? How many? Just put your writer's hat
Yeah.
on. How long is a movie? How many stories?
You
How many
got
love
this, man.
letters?
Use critical thinking skills.
Sure.
Come
Make
on,
an
old
educated
sport.
guess.
Do I get a spread on this one?
I'll give you a 1 point spread.
Okay. I'm going to go 6.
That's correct.
It was 5. All right.
Kyle,
this
aren't you
has
glad
to
you
end
didn't
soon.
Quit?
Here we go. Ready? Zach.
No, only because I argued for my spread.
This is a hard one, Zach. Disney character Aladdin was modeled after which Hollywood actor? I've never heard this before.
No, it's DJ's boyfriend from Full House. I just don't know his name.
That's your guess?
Well, it is DJ's boyfriend from Full House.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve was his name, the actor name.
Kyle.
not his-
Zach is way off.
Oh no, can I actually answer? Can I actually answer now?
That was your answer. I thought you were being
no.
serious.
I have a real answer. I know the answer to this.
Were you joking a second ago, or did you just think of were you being serious and then you thought of the real answer? Let's be honest.
I was being serious. I was
Okay.
being serious, and then I thought of the real answer.
Then let's give Kyle a shot at it, and then you can get respect points with a guess.
Not Clark Gable, the other one.
The other one.
Yeah. Cary Grant.
Zach.
No, Tom Cruise.
That's correct.
All right. Kyle. Who is the only voice actor?
He was voiced by Steve.
What?
He was
He was
voiced
voiced
by Steve.
by DJ's boyfriend from Full House.
Who is the only voice actor to appear in every animated series produced by Disney during the 90s?
Oh, you got this, Kyle.
Who
He
is the
does?
voice actor?
We're going to do another round. I can feel it.
Kyle can get this one.
I'm going to.
John
one where-
Ratzenberger.
No. Zach?
The guy from Cheers.
That's John Ratzenberger.
That's John Ratzenberger.
Who's the answer?
The
Who was
answer
the guy?
was
13?
Jim Cummings.
Oh, he's on the Winnie the Pooh. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. I'm trying to find one where both of them are gettable.
But if we both get it
Ooh,
though, then we're
he's-
still be tied.
He's stirring the pot.
Okay, here we go. These are both numbers. Zach, 2018 saw the Oscars award ceremony celebrate which anniversary? I'll give you a 2-point spread.
2018.
In 2018, the Oscar award ceremony celebrated which anniversary?
Okay. 100.
Kyle?
90.
That's correct.
Kyle wins it. That's game.
Did I do my math wrong?
Probably. It was the
1928?
90th. He got it right
Yeah.
on the dot.
Yeah. I just did my math wrong because I knew it was like 28, 29 was the
Sure.
first
Yeah.
ones.
The next
Well done,
question,
Kyle.
just for the fun of it.
He hasn't won it yet, but you got that one.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
I
Kyle.
can still tie him again
You
if
could-
he gets it
you
wrong.
can,
Yeah,
I
right.
get it
You
right.
could steal. You could steal.
You're right. You're right.
What's
Okay.
going on?
Kyle, as of 2018, how many Oscar nominations has Meryl Streep had in total? I'll give you a 2-point spread.
Oh. All right. I'm gonna 16.
Zach?
Oh, it's not.
11.
Kyle wins.
How many has she
Dan?
had?
The answer was 21.
Oh, we were both. I thought it was. I couldn't decide if it was 14 or 17, so I just went in the middle.
Yeah.
Awesome
21
game,
Oscar
guys.
nominations.
Thanks for playing.
Kyle won 19 to 14.
How do you feel about those questions? We used about half of them.
That was fun. I liked him.
All right. Thank you for joining us for this episode 505 of the Cinereelists. We appreciate your listenership. Don't forget, you can always watch this podcast on YouTube. You can support us on Patreon. You can review the podcast on Apple Podcasts, or send us an email to heyguys@cinereelists.com, REEL with an S on the end. You can also follow us on all of the social medias, including Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram @Cinereelists, or you could follow me on my personal Twitter or Letterboxd account @YoJRB.
You can follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd @Shaban.
You can find me on Letterboxd @PeterSKB.
Next week, we will be watching the streaming movie titled King Richard. It's on HBO Max. If you want to do a little pre-watching, do it there. And if you have any list suggestions to pair with King Richard, the email is open. Until then, keep it cinereal.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.